What's the biggest mistake guys make on a first date?
There's so many, but one of the biggest ones you're currently making is you're not radically honest in your conversations with women. You're so worried as to whether she's going to approve of what you have to say that you filter your communication. They don't even understand how dishonest they are. You think you're being honest with women, and in fairness, most of the time you really are, but you're not saying what you actually truly believe because you're worried that she won't approve, you're worried that you'll lose her. But trying to play it safe is actually the riskiest thing you could possibly do. Because if you say the thing that no other man dares to say, you will stick out. So there's a million mistakes these guys make. But one of the most important ones for you to change, to become a more effective communicator, to part the sea like Moses, if you will, to get some women to really love you and others to hate you, is to become more radically honest in your communication. Because most people are fake, and she knows it. And if you say the thing you actually think, and sometimes it's a very quiet little voice. Sometimes something screams inside of you that it needs to come out. It's a feeling, it's a sensation, it's a thought. If you actually learn to listen to what's going on inside of you and you say it, you'll become so much more effective. And the right women, they'll be truly excited about you. There is a saying, now every truth is but a half truth, but there is definitely merit to this, which is you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. That's built on the idea that if you're actually compatible and you tell her about your values, for example, the fact that you like freedom of speech, and anybody who opposes that is a danger to society, if you were to say something like that, then you can see if you have the same value systems, for example. Next question, my baby.
How can a guy tell if a girl is genuinely interested in him?
Genuinely?
Yeah.
There's a lot of signs. The most important signs you're looking for are positivity. Is she smiling? Is she building physical contact? The number one, exactly, IOI, indicator of interest, if you will, is her being there. She doesn't have to be on a date with you right then and there. She doesn't have to be in a conversation with you in the bar. She could have left. It's a free country, the US, the UK, wherever she is. She doesn't have to talk to you. So if she's talking to you, that doesn't give you permission to do anything inappropriate or disrespectful or weird, but it absolutely should allow you to feel confident and calm in your understanding of your own value. Why on earth wouldn't she be excited about you? You should, let me give you a little gold nugget here. Most people who ask this question, 7 signs this, 9 signs that. What you need to do is you need to write a list of 20 reasons as to why it would be the greatest gift on earth for the right woman, not just for any woman, but for the right woman to be a part of your life. 20 reasons, not 17, not 16, but 20 reasons. What you bring to the table. Beer. Little inside joke, maybe we'll show the video at some point here. I did a street interview when it was a couple of years ago, and there was a girl that I interviewed in Temple Bar and asked her, what do you bring to the table? And she goes,
Beer.
Beer. And then the other one, like tea or something. It was hilarious. Anyway, what you bring to the table, it can be financial stability, it can be the fact that you're kind and caring and intelligent, and you genuinely want to treat her like a queen, and you're good at cooking, you're good at love making, whatever it happens to be. And some of them are going to be material based, but many more are going to be about your character and who you are as a man. Because it doesn't matter how successful you currently are. Women value ambition more than current success. Oh, I have to be rich and successful to get the right woman. Trust me, if that was the case, I wouldn't have any clients. Most of my clients are either doing pretty well or extremely well financially. And they come to me after burning 10, 20, 30K, 40K on matchmaking and realize that's basically a scam because it doesn't work because of a limited database. And then they end up here. So it's not just money. It's a lot of things that, in essence, lead to her feeling desirable emotions around you. Yes, she wants to have a family with you. If you already have families, like you both have kids and you want to merge those families, patchwork type of family style. She wants the stability, but she wants to feel alive. So it's communication. Next one.
Should a man pay for the first date, or does it depend on the situation?
I think, what do you think? Should the guy pay? What do you genuinely think?
It depends on the situation.
Okay, if it's drinks in a bar.
Yeah, it's something small. He could pay.
Would you expect dinner on a first date?
No, not at all.
That's the difference. I was just in Miami and I taught a seminar with 8 clients there, and a lot of the clients think that just because some women in Miami have the expectation that dinner needs to be the first date, that's all women. If you scroll through the internet and watch content, You might be under the false impression that all women are gold diggers. That's truly not the case. She genuinely does not care whether we go for ice cream for €4.50 or we spend a couple of €1,000 on 2 nights in some hotel here in Ireland. You don't. And that's the beautiful thing. The right woman doesn't care. Everybody wants financial stability, and you as a man, obviously you're going to keep working on yourself, but that's good news for you. Whether you're rich or you're not rich, it is not the decisive factor. You have to keep working on yourself. But the right woman shall value you for the ambition, for how hard working you are, for the lack of bad habits that you have. Because bad habits, like drug addictions or other loser habits, they're the ones that can really mess you up, and they will mess you up in the long term. And that's what's going to get the right woman to lose interest in you in the long term. But coming back to the question originally, if you're on a first date, just pay. Just pay the drinks. And you shouldn't have more than 1 or 2 drinks anyway, ideally alcohol-free drinks. If she wants to have a red wine, no problem. Do you remember our first date? Mm-hmm. The one in Fitzsimons, not when I approached you and we made out, but when we actually met?
Yes.
What did you have?
We shared 1 drink.
We shared 1 cider, right?
Yeah,
Back in the day I still drank, but I never drank a lot. So I never had a problem with alcohol because when I was in university, I was training and I was teaching karate, so I never had time to drink because I thought it was a loser habit anyway. So I drank a little bit, but we shared 1 Koppenberg cider, I believe, right? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it.
That was all.
That's it. And then I think I paid for the 1 Koppenberg cider. €7.50, highly overpriced. Next question.
What makes a man stand out from other guys when dating?
Communication and a willingness to walk away. Because most women, most attractive women, women who are beautiful from the inside and out, they realize that men come from such scarcity when they're talking to them. You have to communicate to her at any given point throughout the interaction that you want her, but that you also don't need her. You have to have an utter willingness to walk away. And that can show itself in little techniques, but the mindset that comes through is unparalleled. So you can't say, I really like your hair.
Thank you.
Is it real?
Of course.
Right? That's a little teasy, push-pull type of thing. But the mindset of having a willingness to walk away is very powerful. Now, obviously, you currently have blind spots in your communication. You do have that. You still have to work on the skill set. You're lacking a skill set. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just lacking a skill set. But when you're on the date, the only useful mindset to have is, if this is meant to be, there's nothing in the world that I can do to mess this up. And if this is not meant to be, there's nothing in the world that I can do to make it work. That's the only useful mindset for you to have on the date. Because if you get into your head and you're analyzing and you're focusing on the flaws that you have in your communication, on the insufficiencies, that won't make you come across as the most confident version possible. And confidence is a prerequisite for being your most attractive self. But you can only feel confident or certain, in other words, if you focus on what you have, on the things you've done well, on previous successes, not by focusing on your insufficiencies. Next question, babe.
Is confidence something you are born with, or can you develop it?
It's absolutely something you can develop. There's 4 sources of confidence. The first one is competence, being good at something. I can be very confident as a human being in general and have 0 confidence in my ability to play piano. I know, whenever we're at an airport and there's a little bit of a piano, I play like a quarter of the song River Flows in You because that's all I know. It's good enough for Instagram story. I never lie. I never pretend that I can't play the piano, but it looks kind of fun. So I have 0 confidence in my ability to play the piano because I'm just not a good piano player. But I'm very good, or rather confident, in my abilities regarding dating and personal development because I'm the best in the world in that. Dating, at least. Okay? When it comes to helping men find a quality relationship, this is the best at what we do. I've been able to help hundreds of men from 36 countries, most of them in the US, some of them in the UK, the rest spread across the world, find a quality, meaningful relationship, become confident, become really good in their communication skills. The reason I'm so confident in this is because I have a proven track record. We have client testimonials on the website en masse. And for everyone you see, we have countless more that we can't post because people value their privacy. So confidence on the one hand comes from competence. And part of the reason you're not as confident around women is because you don't have a game plan yet. We have 300 free videos on this YouTube channel. Check it out. Apply for a free initial consultation if you want us to help you personally with the skill set of storytelling, of creating attraction, of creating connection, of dating apps, of the approach. That is the skill set component. That is the first source. But it's just the skill set. The second source of confidence is state, your mental and your emotional state. Confidence is something that you can learn to turn on at any given point in time. Most people use alcohol. liquid confidence, which temporarily decreases cortisol, but it has so many negative side effects. Look at people and how it ruins their life. It really ruins them in the long term. So what I would encourage you to do is just understand that there's a lot of tools that you have available to yourself to change how you feel. And we have a video on this YouTube channel called Inner Game Mastery. We published it, I don't know, just look at it. I'm standing on a mountain with gloves. It's called Inner Game Mastery, 58 minutes on how to master your own mental and emotional state. And I go into confidence in the second component in more detail. But briefly speaking, there's three sources, Tony Robbins says. There's your physiology, your focus, and your language patterns. You know that you're not the same person before or after a workout. The way you're walking, the way you hold your hand, whether you use your head, whether you speak with certainty or not, slower, faster, shoulder positioning, your breathing, all these things have an impact. All these things create either an empowering or a disempowering mental and emotional state. Sauna, ice bath, the way you hold your up, the way where you're looking, just by looking down or looking up, that has an impact. You're always putting yourself in a trance, but you don't understand that your body, your behavior is the first key to changing how you feel on a day-to-day basis, and you can access that. Singing, shouting, martial arts. These things don't just make you look more buff in the mirror, but they change your neurochemistry. They change your physiology. The second thing is focus. What do you focus on? Do you focus on the lady that recently rejected you, or do you focus on all of the past successes that you've had? Do you focus on who loves you, or do you focus on what you don't have? Do you focus on the past, the present, or the future? Tony Robbins talks about the fact that we all have patterns of focus that have an immediate measurable impact on how we feel, and those emotions that either make us come across as more confident or less confident. And they will then also determine the quality as well as the quantity of our actions. If I don't believe that dating apps work, how much of an effort am I going to put forth? If I don't believe that I can get this girl's number, am I going to go and approach in the bar or not? I probably won't. I'm going to do a half-assed approach. Hey, you wouldn't want to have my number, right? I know I have that gingerism thing, but and you walk in there with an anticipation of pain, and because of mirror neurons, if there's a little bit of rapport, she'll feel similar emotions to the ones you were feeling. The third source of confidence, rather of the second subpoint called state, is your inner dialogue, how you talk to yourself. And most men have an unbelievably negative dialogue. You're probably somebody who's quite logical, but you're on your own business, finance, law, right? Whatever type of profession you're in, you're quite head heavy. And the head is a good servant, it's a very poor master. The head, your brain's job is to help you survive. It is not to make you happy. And for you to survive, the brain has to point out threats. But if you focus on threats, your survivability goes up, but your happiness goes down and your confidence goes down. So the way you train your own inner dialogue is by making a decision first and foremost, and by understanding that you can utterly rewrite it. Affirmations, incantations, and it's not something weird. But after you've done something well, an approach on a dating app or in a business environment, do you say, fuck yeah, that was awesome. Damn, that was awesome. That was really good. You don't reward yourself enough of this. And it's not enough to have heard of the concept positive inner dialogue. You actually have to practice it on a day-to-day basis. After you did a project, say, that's fucking awesome, man. That was great. And I actually say it out loud. My friends sometimes laugh about it when I say a video. After this, I'll be like, wow, it was fucking awesome. Boom. Already pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Because if I don't encourage myself, if I'm not my own best friend, who will be? You have to be your own best friend. And by the way, people think it's so much more authentic to be humble, or to be negative, or to be realistic, or to be a pessimist. Bro, you're not more authentic. You're just gutless. I'm keeping it real. Yeah, real negative. Imagine a being from Mars or some other galaxy looking down on Earth. Do you think the universe cares whether you live an existence of fake humility and a lack of confidence, or whether you're confident? If the Earth explodes in 100,000, 10 million, trillion, whatever fucking years, I don't give a shit. The person who will have cared the most, whether you lived in a confident and joyful and loving and certain state or not, is you. You're going to care about it. And everybody else is going to benefit from it. Your playing small does not serve the world. The third source of confidence is osmosis, spending time around other men who are truly confident. Most men have very weak friendships to other men. They're not loyal, they don't trust them fully, they're not really confident. And that confidence, or the lack thereof, rubs off on you. The fourth one is beliefs. The story you're telling yourself about yourself, as to why you're not deserving, as to why you couldn't have a quality relationship to the right woman. Audit your beliefs, because your thoughts, and beliefs are just thoughts that have a degree of strength and certainty associated with it, dictate your actions. Those actions dictate your results. They dictate your destiny. Next question, babe.
What's the best way for a guy to approach a girl in public?
What do you think?
Excuse me, 2 seconds.
When we met, it was in a pub in Dublin, 5-ish and a bit more years ago. That's a funny story. Should I tell it? I'll tell it. Basically, what happened was I was with Jonathan, a friend of mine, absolute legend. He's been doing dating coaching for 10 years as well. He's a coach in my program. He's also a bachata and salsa teacher. I'm walking through that place, through that pub in Dublin, and never wait for a woman to look at you, okay? Never. But if she does, it's the easiest thing in the world and you gotta go. So I see her from the other side of the dance floor. It's just, I don't know anything. I'm just like, wow, really attractive. And I thought she was looking at me. Now, and then I go and do the approach and I do what I'm about to tell you what I did. But then basically a year and a half later, I found out that she was actually looking at Jonathan with his long flowing black hair. So for all I know, she could end up with him. No. But I don't know. Because we all have types, right? But basically, I thought she looked at me. That is, I've done thousands and thousands and thousands of approaches. I've gotten rejected more times than you ever jerked off. That's probably a fact. Now, you don't have to do that many approaches, really don't. You can just use dating apps or Instagram, but you got to do some approaches in person. But I just have to do 1,000, 100 times more than you to be able to authentically teach you and lead the way. Otherwise, I'm just a con artist. Because if you don't speak from experience, if it's just a book or something you read somewhere, it's not real. But in that particular situation, I actually thought she looked at me. She didn't, looked at my friend. Anyway, I walk over to her and say, what did I say? Remember the opener?
No.
Are you from Argentina? Something like that, right?
Something like that.
And then you say,
how dare you? No, I'm Brazilian.
And then I said the C word, right?
Yeah, you called me cachorra.
Cachorra. Okay, so here's the thing. I know that the Portuguese word for dog is cachorro. Now I thought, let me be smart. Let me make a female and say cachorra. Problem is, cachorra means whore. So I called her a whore, not knowingly. And then she was there with her sister who's currently visiting her in Dublin. She goes, ah! So Vanessa,
don't talk to my sister like that.
Yeah, exactly. Vanessa lost her shit. Thank God Jonathan was there and he befriended Vanessa and he calmed her down. And I apologized. I said, I'm sorry, I'm just agreeing. I didn't know what I meant. I'm so sorry. Don't do that. Not recommend that. And anyway, so Jonathan was with Vanessa and then I think half an hour later or so, we snuck around the corner. We made out. I got your number. And then a couple of days later, we met for a date, right? Mm-hmm. That is our story. But the best way to just start a conversation is to say, excuse me 2 seconds, you're really cute. How to come and say hi. Or, I like your style, I like your posture. A tailored compliment, you want to open the conversation in a direct way. Direct means with a compliment, so she knows your intent. You want to create premise of the open, if you want the technical term. Premise of the open. Just communicate your intent of the opening of the conversation. Next question, babe. Oops.
How can a guy handle rejection without feeling crushed?
The rejection never makes you feel crushed. It never makes you feel anything. It's the meaning you give it. Now, with rejection, the biggest thing is you simply haven't been exposed to enough. You simply haven't had enough. You feel rejected because you haven't had enough rejections. If you had gotten more rejections, it wouldn't hurt anymore. Same in business. You get desensitized to bad, if you run your own business, or if you're advancing in any career, you get desensitized to bad things happening. You get desensitized to bad things happening to you. The more you go through it, and eventually it has no impact on you anymore. The reason you feel so rejected is because you haven't had enough. That's one. Just progressively desensitize yourself. And it means nothing anymore. But the real key, the real unlock is the meaning you give the situation and your internal dialogue right after the interaction. If you get a rejection, what's the meaning you give it? Does it mean you're not desirable, you can't be loved? Or does it mean something? You have to give it a meaning that empowers you. She must be a lesbian. Maybe her dog urgently needed a haircut. You can find something funny. If you can give it something slightly absurd and you can laugh about it, then the emotional impact is lessened. It is never the thing that happens, but the meaning you ascribe to the situation that produces an emotional reaction within you, which then lets you take constructive or zero or even destructive actions. Next.
What are the top 3 qualities women find most attractive in men?
Well, I think you should tell me. What are some attractive qualities?
Being smart, intelligent.
Being smart. Okay, good. Yeah, I would say a lot of these guys have that. Yeah. What else? Maybe something they can actually influence, because IQ they're largely born with.
I don't know.
What do you like about me?
You're ginger.
I am a piece of meat for her. I'm an object. Forget everything I said about communication styles. Just find somebody who likes your hair. How about communication or confidence, or something that you've heard me talk about for 5 years?
Yes. Confidence, communication.
Fuck's sake, next question. Go on. Jesus Christ. Communication, people, it's communication. Confidence. See, women oftentimes don't even know what they react to. It's fine. We as men, by the way, don't either. It's not just a women's thing. We as human beings are not very good at knowing what we react to unless we're trained. Thank you very much, babe. Next question. Caralho.
Is it better to be funny or mysterious when talking to women?
Look, do you want me to answer, or do you want to?
You do
Your thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Mysteriousness is ridiculous. Was I?
I like it.
Really? How mysterious was I with you?
0.
0. Quite the opposite, huh?
Yeah.
So, funny is not necessary because I'm not mega funny, right?
You're funny.
For a German. Sometimes.
Yeah, for a German.
No, I think I'm quite funny for my standards. But I'm not crazy funny. There's real funny. Like Tony Hinchcliffe, Joe Rogan type of funny. Andrew Schultz type of funny. Dave Chappelle type of funny. They're professionals at being funny. Being funny is a skill set. You don't have to be funny to find a quality relationship. But you can become more fun and lighthearted. And with this little question, it's more important to be fun than just funny. But being mysterious is ridiculous. Ask me what I do.
What do you do?
Doesn't matter. Let's not talk about work.
That's more girl thing.
That's a girl thing. It's like, what do you do for work? OF. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. So like mysterious is a problem. You want to overshare. I overshared right from the beginning. Still to this day, what do you always say? I can't shut up, or like I can't?
Yes, you share too much.
I always overshare. My father, he always said, David, there's 2 types of people in the world. The ones who get into trouble because they don't share enough. And yeah, the types of people who get into trouble because they share too much.
You.
I'm definitely the latter. Next one.
What's the best way to slide into girls' DM without being creepy?
You have to tailor the opener to her specific profile. Instagram is amazing. If you have a well-built Instagram, then you can simply send direct messages. I've had clients who get several dates a week just from dating apps. It's amazing. It works really well. But it has to be tailored to her profile. That was fun. If you want us to help you personally find the right girlfriend or wife, if you're a man who's doing well in his career or your business and you want a meaningful long-term relationship and you don't have that much time to spend and you want to find somebody through dating apps, Instagram, approaches, somebody for the long term, click the link below and apply for a free initial consultation. Looking forward to speaking with you soon. Take care. That was awesome. Well done.
Well, you